What's up guys, Aroneous here with another Raid Shadow Legends video, and in today's video the topic of discussion is Mythical Shards, and if Plarium is going to be bringing them to the game at some point in time. Because right now we have the legendary heroes, we have epics, we have rares, commons and uncommons, but the big question is the players that are out there right now, the endgame players, and they are purchasing up all these legendary champions basically with the sacred shards that they're buying, and the guardian ring can only do so much. After a while, a lot of endgame players are going to be full up on the faction guardians and everything's going to be maxed. A lot of their champions are going to be +4 and they're going to become bored again. And the only thing that really could bring people's attention back to raid is of course the PvP, but my other thought is, what if Plarium creates a mythical shard, because it would be just a mythic champion, right? I mean, they've got blessings to create that are red, right? So you have mythical artifacts, you have upgrading your artifacts, upgrading your champions, and the key common denominator is everything's red when they upgrade. So like Coronar, I got a blessing on him, he turns red, you know, the mythical gear is red. So why don't they make mythical champions? Now of course your first thought about it, my first thought is it gonna be way overpowered? Is it gonna be, you know, everybody's gonna be like, oh well, it's gonna be too overpowered, it's gonna be crazy, it's not fair. But guess what? When has this game ever been fair? Think about that. When has this game ever been truly fair? Because a free-to-play player, it's going to take years and years and years to get +4 champions, right? Because we're already having people pay to get +4 Baron, +4 Mortu, +4 Krisk, +4 Underpriest Brogni. Shall I go on? So why would it matter if they brought out mythical champions, right? And the mythical champions would be the cream of the crop, the strongest out there. Should they make it a guardian ring where they add it? They absolutely could. They absolutely could put mythical champions here. And you know, what would these champions look like? Obviously the aesthetics would have to be even more top notch than what they are. Like, they would have to be out of this world. Like, holy crap, I would have never expected them to create a champion like this. But again, can it be balanced to this? Well, I mean, legendary +4. Need I say more? There's no epics to be empowered. It's only legendaries. So I can't say that one mythical champion would be more powerful than a +4 legendary, but a mythical champion would be a little bit more powerful than a legendary champion, right? Plus, Plarium would have a field day with getting money from the whales and the krakens of this game. So if they already charge $25 a pop for the sacred shards, if they made mythical champions with mythic shards, then all they need to do is just increase the price of a mythic shard, and I guarantee you people will buy it. 100% guarantee you people will end up buying it, and they'll probably spend upwards of maybe $100. Let me ask you guys this: if you're a whale, you're a kraken, how much would you spend for a mythical champion? A champion that's above sacred, above legendaries, right? So would it be called a mythical shard, a mythic shard, or something different? Maybe it would be called a diamond shard. Who knows? What would it look like? In my opinion, it would be red, because it would go based on, you know, the soul stones, how everything's red here. Now it is soul stones, so it might have to be that it's like a diamond type for a shard, or the diamond champions, or you know, there could be multiple different names you could utilize for the type of champion, but I'm just going to stick with mythic champions because that just kind of makes sense. Plus, I think that they should be able to drop or create more content with this as well, right? Because in bringing more champions, newer champions, a higher tier, you can now bring a higher tier of content other than what they're doing right now. This is the content that they're bringing out. It was already set to come out. This is all, I call it baseline content, right? But they haven't actually added on. They haven't added on the PvP real time, and then they haven't added on more dungeons or new levels to the dungeons in a while. So right now we can do dungeons up to 25 for most of them. I think they still need to add dungeons for Minotaur up to 20, level 20, so we can farm our masteries faster. They can add more levels to the dungeons up to level 30, and then mythical champions may be needed or necessary to help you with those higher stage dungeons, right? With higher drop rates and things like that. You know, they can also bring in a new clan boss level, right? What could you call the new clan boss level? In my opinion, I had just one thing that you could call it. It's like God mode or Hell mode. Instead of Nightmare, it's Hell mode or God mode, something like that. And they can also bring that to Hydra as well, just another level up, another tier. So, and these tiers would drop mythical shards, right? Or maybe only clan boss would drop mythical shards, but that clan boss is so powerful that it can't just be beat, you know, and you can't just get to 1500 turn limit with the infinity comp that easily. You have to bring more to it than what is currently happening with the current clan boss. So yeah, I feel like that would be very nice, because bringing in something new would also bring in newer players. You know, it's obviously a big marketing ploy. Obviously you're going to spend a lot more money as endgame users, and it would be interesting. It would be very interesting. And I wanted to showcase like a couple of pictures of I was just browsing, and I want to showcase a couple pictures of what champions could potentially look like. I'm not saying that they would. These are just pictures, and if I see a name underneath the picture, I'm going to shout out the creator who created it. It's not my work at all. So yeah, so let me go ahead and do that really quick for you. So here's one picture of someone drew of a potential champion that could be in the future. This could be a really, really strong mythic Shadowkin champion, for example. Now, obviously, I'm not the creator of this, so whoever created it, hats off to you. Like something like this would be insane, right? Like look at these. This is a really sick design. Really sick design. Also a really sick design. This looks kind of very similar to a different type of genre of game, but still super cool. Like all these different types of champions potentials that you could draw up or create. Developers could create these crazy looking champions. Like this champion would be insane for like Sacred Order, right? This is a Spell Souls game or something like that, but really cool. It's a paladin, but a really cool design. Shout out to whoever created that. This could be a really crazy Bannerlord. Why don't they have somebody like this that looks like this yet? I mean, this guy looks ridiculously powerful just from looking at him. Now they do have Septimus, who looks pretty sick, but they don't have someone super tanky like this. They have something like this. You know, that's pretty sick too. Like bulkier type champions, things like that. Again, there's a lot of different types of champion builds that you could potentially make. They don't have really a lot of skinwalkers, to be honest with you. Like dragons, for example. So like this type of thing is pretty cool, the concept art. They could bring in different types of characters. They should try to bring in more dragon looking characters, in my opinion. Now obviously it wouldn't look exactly like these pictures here, but bringing in different type of concept art would be very beneficial to the game. So yeah, so that was a kind of a bunch of different pictures. Obviously it'd be tough to find different concept art to showcase someone that's a mythical type champion, but you know, I'm sure you could think about it in your head of, you know, what you think would be on par of what a mythical champion would look like. What's their aura? What are their skills? Things like that. Would be highly interested in knowing what you guys think about that. Do you guys think that it would just be too OP, or do you think it would be a fun new concept next to the PvP that's going to come out in probably the end of 2023? I hope that it comes between the first 6 months of 2023, within the first 6 months, I mean, but I doubt it. I don't think they're going to bring in PvP real time until probably the end of next year. So because it's going to be such a large patch, I just don't feel like they're going to bring in PvP soon after the start of 2023, since they're creating another couple of patches just this year. But yeah, that's gonna kind of be it for this one, guys. What do you think? Do you think that a mythical shard should come into the game, or at least some new content revolving around PvP coming out eventually? I think that maybe eventually down the line they will bring in a higher tier of champions other than just legendaries, because it's gonna come a point where there's not anything else they can come up with for champions that are just legendary and epics. It's getting kind of, I will say it's getting kind of boring when they just keep bringing out more legendaries and epics. Yeah, bringing out another faction is great, but again, it's the same old grind. It's not too much different. So bringing in something different might be nice, or they need to bring in a whole new game mode other than upgrading artifacts. Like, I get upgrading artifacts is nice, but I think they need to bring in a different type of game mode into this game that's more fun, more, you know, it just doesn't seem like they are thinking too outside of the box. So I'm just really hoping, I love this game, and I'm really hoping for the game to keep progressing and getting better and better over time. And I will say there's a lot of new things that are awesome about the game, but I just feel like they could bring something else, and having mythic champions would be a really cool idea to me. But then again, how would you bring about a balance in the game if there were mythical champions to come out in the future? So that's going to be it for this one, guys. If you appreciate me talking about this, please go ahead and leave a like, comment down below what your thoughts are about this, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.